die.
They say hurt people,
Yeah.
and that's what you are.
Well, this is the thing. Everyone always asked me about bullying in school, and I was very good at it.
Hey guys, before we get into the video, I want to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor, Dinnerly. Dinnerly is a weekly meal subscription plan which makes dinner time affordable and easy. I'm not a chef by any means, but with Dinnerly you can make over 100 different quick and simple recipes that taste amazing. And the process is very simple. You just choose the meals that you want from their huge catalog. They send you all the prepackaged and measured ingredients, and then they email you the easy to read recipes to follow. And the best part is it actually is just the recipes. No scrolling through like some long-winded backstory about someone's grandma and what the dish means to them. Just quick, concise, easy to read instructions. Just recently we had a coconut beef curry, a brown butter chicken with sweet potatoes, and an oven-fried ravioli with zucchini. And I'm not just saying this for the ad, but all of them legitimately tasted really good. And they each used 6 ingredients or less and only took about 20 to 30 minutes. And because it was delivered to our door, we didn't have to go to the grocery store and deal with people. And all the ingredients were prepackaged and measured, which meant that we didn't have to waste any food. Because I know a lot of times, like whenever you buy groceries to make some food, you end up with half an onion or all that extra garlic that you don't need. It's easier than meal prepping, cheaper than going out, and way more convenient than going to the grocery store. And they have flexible meal service plans, so if you're not satisfied, you can cancel at any time with no penalty. Check out the link in the description or use coupon code MADDY160 and get $160 off your first 6 boxes. And for a little cherry on top, free shipping on your first box. So make dinner time easy, delicious, and affordable with Dinnerly. And now on to the video. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Give It To Me Straight, and this episode is very exciting because we got new walls. Also on the show today, we have a special guest from RuPaul's Drag Race UK Season 2, the winner, Lawrence Chaney.
Hello, you heterosexual scum.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh
Thank you for having me in your brand new walls.
Welcome to the fur room in its entirety.
Freshly shaved.
Freshly shaved,
I like
freshly
it, yeah.
groomed. Yeah. Even the floor is fur now because we spare no expense here.
You need a sponsorship from like Veet or something to like Veet these walls. Yeah.
I should just get like a wallpaper. It's just like skin, human flesh.
That sounds like my runway on Drag Race, the skin dress. I'll let you borrow it. It's big enough.
Yeah.
You get the whole wall made out of that dress.
Whenever I'm on Dragula, that's when I'll like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Jay Jolie.
Yeah. Whenever my white contacts come in the mail, then we'll do the flesh walls.
Okay, that sounds good, diabetes. Yeah.
But enough about me. We're gonna talk about you today.
Oh, jeez.
Because you're more popular and have more followers. So I think people want to hear more from you. So your drag name Lawrence Chaney. It's based off your real name Lawrence and the silent film actor from the 20s, Lon Chaney.
Well, this is the thing.
I don't know a lot of silent film.
Are you not a silent film connoisseur?
Not much. No.
Are you a horror film connoisseur? What do you do to kind of relax after a show or something? Because I'm pretty weird. I love horror films. Horror films to me calm me down because I don't know about the people watching at home or you, but I love watching people in much worse situations than me because I realize, wow, how good I've got it. You know, if something's stressing me out, Mary's getting a chainsaw up her vagina, you know, so I'm very lucky. So that's why I always connected with silent movies, especially because they're camp. Like drag, you know, that everything's over the top because there's no words. So you have to kind of relay your message, your lines through your physicality. Yeah. And Lon Chaney just translated it so well. And he was known as the man of 1,000 faces. And I loved, you know, because he did his own makeup. He transformed himself into the Hunchback of Notre Dame and the Phantom of the Opera. And he did all his own makeup himself. So I guess, you know, when I came up with that name when I was maybe 14, 15, it just stuck with me, you know, because my government name, I hate to break it to you people out there, my government name is Lawrence Maidment. And that is the most white privilege sounding name I think we've ever heard besides Maddy Morphosis. So for me, you know, I was like, Lawrence Maidment isn't the name of...
Sounds like a landlord.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like someone who's going to be a star. Do you know what I mean? And to me, I loved the name Lon Chaney. And that kind of, the grandeur he had. So I said, Lawrence Chaney. Oh, I love that. That has a great ring to it. So it just kind of stuck. I know it's not really drag related, but I knew from a very early age I wanted to be famous. I didn't want to be on a theatre stage in the West End necessarily, but I knew that I wanted to be on TV screens. And for that to work, I couldn't be called Penetration or, you know, these other names. I had to be named something that was suitable for an all ages audience.
So your last name is based on Lawrence Chaney, which, as you said, refers to himself as the man of 1,000 faces.
Yes.
And you've gone on an interview saying that you were also the queen of 1,000 faces.
This is the annoying thing is I wish you were lying, but I absolutely said that. But now my drag has evolved where, you know what it's like since Drag Race, we have to look like ourselves 24/7. You know, we have to look, if we're doing a meet and greet and I turn up bright red, painted like a demon, people will be like, well, I've not paid for this. I've paid to meet Lawrence Chaney, not someone dressed in red as a demon. So there's certain things that being on Drag Race, for example, hinders, but it also benefits. It stunts your creativity, I would say, because everyone expects me to turn up looking fat and purple. And when I don't do that, they're like, we're not comfortable with this. But I remember before Drag Race, I loved playing around with makeup, and I would always, I used to do like Instagram makeup series where I would just paint myself as horror movie characters or different celebrities, different drag queens, and I just loved playing around with makeup. That's why it connected with me so much. His name, his kind of title, and me,
As you said, referring to yourself as the queen of 1,000 faces, why did you settle on this one?
Well, no, this is one of the faces. I've got two faces actually.
Oh, okay.
Cunt. Fucking bitch. How dare you? So cruel. Just so cruel. The homophobia continues, folks.
It's not homophobia. I have nothing against gay people. I have something
Things against Scottish
people.
Yes! You hear that, Scotland? Don't book her. I know you weren't going to, but don't do it anyway.
No, but like you said, like you're talking about all the makeup looks you used to do. And that's actually a good segue because I was going to ask you about, you used to do a lot of different makeup looks.
Yeah.
You would do characters like Pennywise or Shillingwise, as it were.
Hey.
And even like as far back, even way before drag, you were doing characters like Margaret Thatcher. Like
yes,
before
honey.
you ever even did drag.
Yeah.
So you were doing drag looks way before you even started drag officially.
Yeah.
So for that, would you say you were like always destined to do drag, or is it just kind of something you found yourself in?
I guess drag is the perfect culmination of all of my skills. You know, I'm funny, I can banter with people, I have quite a dark sense of humor. For me, drag, I literally fell into it. You know, it was something that just took off. You know, when I studied acting, my lecturer told me, she said, you're not good at this. And she said, you're not good at acting. You're not good at any of this. You're good at selling yourself, like verbally saying, I'm committed. You thought I was talking about prostitution.
On the street, yeah.
Yeah. That too. Am I good?
Yeah.
But my lecturer used to always say to me, you're not going to be able to make it in this industry. This industry's not for you. It's really hard. And she used to tell my whole class that. She used to say, you're never going to get a job in television. No one gets jobs in television. It's only like 1% of people that do that. And I just thought, what a small-minded bitch. Because as a lecturer, you have such a huge responsibility to kids, young adults that are growing up wanting to make a name for themselves, but not even that, wanting to learn. And she put me off learning. So as much as she was saying that, I said, okay, well, I'm not gonna do this course anymore. And I just stopped turning up to college, and I went to the nightclub and started doing drag. But yeah, I'd always played around with makeup, and it was my kind of happy space, you know?
It's ironic though that like it was the teacher kind of putting you off from like acting in theater, and that's what eventually led you to drag, which is now where you're doing all your like acting in theater. It's just...
You know, trust me, as I'm sure you think as well, I do sometimes when I'm like sitting in my dressing room or at home, I think, wow, I'm so lucky. Because I can't believe my lecturer used to say, oh, you'll never make it. No one does movies, no one does TV. You'll maybe only get theatre, but that'll be it. And I'm in a movie with Diane Keaton this year, which is insane.
With you saying that, like, you wake up feeling like you're so lucky, is that the thought you felt whenever you sat in the pink chair across from me today? You're like, I've made it?
No, I thought I'm so unlucky.
Oh.
Yeah, I pulled the short straw.
You're like, I'm so charitable.
Not only did I do a fucking 8-month reign with no prize money, I also sat next to this fucking loser.
Okay, wow. Damn.
Yeah, okay. Well,
I was going to say in our season, despite placing vastly different, we actually won the same amount of money in our season.
Yeah, fucking zero.
Yeah.
Can we talk? Listen, I've got to say, you have the most gorgeous house. I won Drag Race, and it has never been more evident that I won no prize money than coming to... Can I ask, where did you place in your season? What was the...
I went home 5th. I think I was 10th place.
Okay, so 10th place.
Something like that.
Coming 10th, honey, you'll be in a gorgeous house in the middle of the desert with a mezzanine. So if you place 10th, you're doing good, kid.
Well, I think the difference too is that, like, where you're from, probably in Glasgow, there's not a lot of people with like houses per se.
Yeah, so
a lot of
everything's
apartments
built up. Yeah,
because I live in Vegas. If I was living in LA, this would be a studio apartment. It'd be...
That is true.
We would be in a cramped corner right next to across from like the kitchen /
I mean, this is
bedroom.
pretty cramped. This is a massive room, and we're filming in this tiny corner of a room.
It's not cramped. It's intimate.
Intimate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Intimate.
But we're getting off track. We're losing.
Yes, we are. We're losing it.
Like, we're like fucking beatboxing. You hear
that?
Yeah.
She's a scat person, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, scat. She's into scat, everyone. Yeah.
You heard it here
fucking
first.
Beat you to it, you cunt.
I know. That's why.
What I'm surprised by, with these cue cards, you can read.
I can, yeah. It's mostly just pictures. I have like pictures, so it kind of puts me on the right track.
Stickman.
Yeah, hieroglyphics.
Yeah, hieroglyphics. Yeah.
You ever plan to do like more transformation looks, even for throwbacks, or just for funsies, or do you think that life is behind you now because you're so rich and famous and whatnot?
Rich.
Famous.
Rich. That's rich. Drag Race is all about what box you fit in, right? So I'm plus size, I'm funny, and the kind of community that we're in and the drag sphere says to us, if you're plus size and you're funny, you're generally not a look queen. If you're thin and model, you have the model height, or you're not going to be a comedy queen. So what I guess I've done is I've already put myself in a box, because I knew when I went to film Drag Race, I know it's about making the audience the most comfortable with you that they can be, because they have to like you, because it's not easy to capture the nation's heart.
Yeah.
We can't all be Bimini. I've tried. But for me, I left that aside. I wanted little throwbacks in my runway looks when I painted myself pink in that kind of crystal geode look. I wanted those to kind of be a cute little throwback to my older looks. But I guess when I left for Drag Race, I kind of waved goodbye to the more creative drag looks. I mean, Kim Chi spoke about it as well. Kim Chi used to paint herself so many different ways, but since being on Drag Race, she was like, shit, I have to kind of conform to one look. Or people, like with me, I'm fat, so everyone either thinks I'm Ginger Minge or Eureka. Both horrendous insults. But, for me, it's like, okay, I really we've got to brand this thing so I get compared to them as little as possible.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And it's the same with Kim, it's the same with any fashion queen, any thin queen, anyone.
Yeah.
We all try and brand ourselves as uniquely as possible.
Yeah. I'm not Ginger Minge, I'm Purple Ginger Minge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
I've Ginger Purple Minge, That's a joke in the UK. Or is it a joke here? Because
Purple
is
minge?
minge? What's minge to you?
I mean, it's like vagina. Vagina.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's still okay. I thought it was just an us thing. Well,
It's one of those where it's like you kind of take that word from overseas, and then we kind of adopted it, you know?
Stolen.
That's what American
colonized.
That's what American culture is.
Yeah.
You can't be from the UK talking about colonization. You know, a lot of it is just kind of the bits and bubbles that we've taken from other cultures.
Oh,
So like the world, we're all just one melting pot, and it's all starting to slowly blend together.
yeah, it's getting even more gayer.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
better or for worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worse.
Yeah. Oh, homophobic.
I've got gay cousins.
Oh,
I'm allowed to be homophobic.
My mistake. Never mind.
Yeah. I have a piece of your furry wall on my nose.
Yeah, the installation is still fresh, and there's like little pieces flying, but
Yeah. It's gonna make it look nice and hazy on the video.
The snow of like white fur will blend, you know, soften the edges. So
I need softened. So soften me up, big boy. Soften me up.
But speaking, oh, my voice cracked. Puberty, what's happening?
Puberty! Oh my god, I'm so proud of my child.
Call the press.
You do look like kind of my drag child here in this purple. I don't think we're talking enough about this purple.
Hopefully, I got my genes from the other parent. But yeah, like with the purple, like the aesthetic.
Yeah. No, you do look great. You look killer.
Yeah, I look like a proper drag queen almost.
Almost.
Speaking of Drag Race, you were you were the winner of UK Season 2.
Yeah.
Did you audition for Season 1 as well?
I auditioned, well, this is funny. I sent in paperwork for Season 10 of RuPaul's Drag Race in America because I saw Charlie, I mean, this is shady. You want to go there? I'll go there. I believe, this is going to get me in so much trouble. I believe the reason it took so long, maybe not just this, I believe part of the reason it took a bit longer for Drag Race UK to start is because I think they tried having a UK queen on Season 9, Charlie Hides, but she maybe wasn't up to the challenge with a lot of things. Mm-hmm. The lip syncing.
Well, she was like 60, so you gotta give her some credit. She probably forgot where she was.
I'll give her all the credit in the world. Going to one of her shows, she's so funny, really creative, makes all her own outfits. But as the first one, they were definitely, in my opinion, trying to see could they have UK queens on an American season. It's kind of what I think they're doing with like Jimbo now on All Stars and Vivian. I think they're kind of testing the water,
like soft launching it.
So I saw Charlie and I was like, fuck, she only made it to episode 4. What a fucking, you know, great for UK drag then. So for me, I was like, okay, I'm going to send in paperwork. And obviously, I guess Charlie has dual citizenship. So I obviously got rejected. But then I sent in an audition for Season 1 of Drag Race UK. And I got no further. I sent in a tape. It didn't get downloaded. It didn't get anything. It got dust. And I was devastated. I was so upset. And it really hurt because when 2018 came along and it was auditioning for Season 1, I was like, this is it. This is my get out. You know, this is it. Because I'd hosted the shows. I'd done the weekly shows. I'd done the residencies. So for me, I was like, oh, this is meant to be. It's fate. Let's do it. And when that didn't happen, I got really disheartened and upset. And when it came to auditioning for Series 2, I was like, do you know what? I'm going to forget this fate thing, put forward a tape that's fun and silly, and just be you, be silly, don't worry about the accent, don't worry about all this stuff. And that's what I did in the Series 2 audition tape, and it worked. I don't know how, but it worked. Yeah. I put subtitles in it. I did actually for certain bits. Yeah. I was like, RuPaul ain't gonna understand a fucking word.
You had a friend voiceover for you.
Yeah.
Paid voice actor.
It was Bimini did the voiceover. What she's saying is, she's saying, I'm fat and I'm purple. You know, that's Bimini doing a voiceover for me. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Rachel.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Rachel. That is such a throwback. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Thanks to you. I've got no toilet roll to wipe my ass with because all you people keep taking them from the shops. So now I've got a shitty ass and it's all your fault. Isn't it so weird seeing drag queens try and look comfortable sat in chairs?
Yeah, honestly, that's why I got these chairs. I was like, let me get some low to the ground, wide chairs so they're somewhat comfortable.
You think being lower to the ground helps?
He's better than sitting in a stool.
See, I like that.
Well, it's because you're Scottish, you know, the pubs and whatnot.
Yeah. Hey.
They have a pint.
References.
Yeah. Cultured and worldly. But you did make it on to season 2, or series 2, as you say.
Yeah.
And you happen to be the first, or one of the first plus-size winners, one of the first being Natalia Pliakam from Drag Race Thailand.
Yeah, of course, the OG.
And for the record, I didn't say you're plus-size, the internet did, so.
I'm so glad in the promo I said, I'm plus size, drag queen, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I leaned into that because everyone else just assumed I was called everything under the sun.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad I prefaced it by saying, yes, I am plus size rather than just letting the internet do all the talking.
Yeah. But as a big fat slag, what are some of the struggles that you face? What are some of the struggles you face in drag that some like smaller petite queens such as myself probably wouldn't be aware of?
That was a good one, young man.
Thank you.
That was good. What were you saying? Some of the struggles.
What are some of the struggles like as a plus size queen that a lot of people wouldn't expect?
Well, getting out of bed. Walking. You get chub rub between your thighs.
Chub rub.
The main thing that's tough. Being plus size as a visible queer person, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, but I do think the queer community, especially gay men, have a lot of preconceived notions or a nasty opinion on plus size people. And that's all around the world. On Grindr here in Las Vegas, for example, everyone is talking about only into fit people. Oh, you need to keep up with me at the gym. Honey, you're telling me you don't want me to eat your ass when I've been eating food successfully since I was 9 years old? You don't want me eating that ass? Do you know what I mean?
You've trained your life for this moment.
I have dedicated everything to eating ass for years. I'm glad I made everyone else uncomfortable. But... and it's not just out of drag that exists, it's also in drag, because you go to shows and generally the queens that get tipped the most are the ones that are thinner doing stunts. Even the plus size queens, you have to do so much more. If you're funny, you have to be really funny. You have to be the funniest of the night for people to care. And it's shit. It really, really sucks. Like when I got on Drag Race, I was like, oh, I'm really excited because I am a bit more fashionable and I do play around with makeup, and my makeup is subjectively very good makeup. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, I'm killing it. I mean,
look at the material.
Look at the material. It's ripped, but look at the material. You can see it with people compare me, Victoria Scone, Pixie Polite, Eureka, and they think it's funny. And I'm like, subjectively, we don't look similar. Pixie Polite from Drag Race UK Series 4 looks nothing like me. She's much bigger. And I'm sorry, you're all arseholes for comparing me to her. She lost. And she had to sleep with Tia Coffee. Okay? That's unfair. I had to lip sync against Tia Coffee, and that was unfair enough. I'm kidding, they're all my friends, it's fine. Calm down in the comments. But I truly thought, oh my God, like in the same way Lizzo changed the world when like Juice came out, people became a bit more accepting. Oh, I'm going to be asked to be on Vogue's front cover. Like, I really thought it was going to be a game changer. And it wasn't. And I think that is even more of a testament to the bias against plus size people. How am I, no offense, I look glorious. And I wear great outfits. How have I never been asked to be in a magazine of any form? Unless it's related to drag. And yet I'm on a season with 3 other queens who have very successfully been in magazines. Bimini, Aura, Tayce. It's just weird how they're able to, or the people that run the magazines are able to find a place for them, but they're not able to find a place for the fat one. Maybe it's not about the weight. Maybe it's about me being difficult to work with. I don't know. But it just seems very pointed in a fat way.
In a fat way.
Yeah. It is a stigma in your head. It is a driving force in your life to not date someone who's fat. And that may just be where your bias is. That may just be it. But it might also trickle into what drag queens you like, what drag queens you dislike. It may even be family related. It's just a crazy thing. And what we need to get rid of, I've seen this so many times when I've called out people for fat shaming or any of that. We need to stop saying, well, I like Lizzo, so how can I be fat phobic? Like, just because you like one fucking Lizzo song doesn't fucking mean you like fat people as a whole. Everyone in this world comes in different shapes and sizes. And I get it's uncomfortable, but you have to get used to it. You have to get used to it. Or we're all just going to start infighting in the queer community. What's going to happen? We're going to start infighting and we're all just going to say, no, you're fat, you're this, you're that, you're skinny, you're this, oh, well, you're fat, you're that. And we're just going to hate each other. And then it's just going to open up the world for the straights to hate on us. Do you know what I mean? It's just crazy. Crazy. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
But it is something that we saw like online on your season, especially whenever you had the fight with Ellie Diamond, there was a lot of negativity coming your way. And it wasn't just so much about the context of the fight, because like you and Ellie, you go back. And so in that moment on TV, it's you and a friend you know having a disagreement. Yeah. But the difference being with Drag Race, there's a million people eavesdropping on that conversation with opinions about it, but then also opinions about you. That
was the first time, and one of the only times I'll add, I let my arse hang out. And I shouldn't have done that. I will say I was gagged at the edit of it because it was worse. The argument between me and Ellie involved Ahura a lot more, and it was way worse.
In person?
So what you saw really was the tip of the iceberg there, honey. It was not as tough. But I do think, you know, I had messages where people would say like, you finally showed your true colors, you fat cunt. And I remember being like, the true colors bit is fine for you to think. What has me being fat got to do with a running order? It's very obvious, in my opinion, where you can tell the blatant fat phobia in the comments that the fans say. You know, being called a fat cunt. I remember someone told me, they said, you should kill yourself and slit your wrists, but I bet only gravy would come out, you fat cunt. That was just from Lady Bunny. Yeah. Like, so it was crazy, you guys. It was mad. But I'm not gonna go crazy when people say that. You know, people are entitled to their opinion. And I'm also entitled to my life. I'm entitled to my own security, my health. I'm entitled to these things as well. So live and let live, you know.
It's okay to be a loser, because losing is the new winning.
Cardio. Probably did that wrong as well. Yeah.
But despite a lot of the hate that you did get, one of your biggest fans was RuPaul himself.
Yeah.
Despite forgetting names of people like Jinx and Sasha Colby, RuPaul will never forget your name, ever. What is it like knowing that you are confirmed to be one of RuPaul's favorite drag queens?
I mean, obviously, I'm not going to lie, like, ego-wise, absolutely, I'm flicking my bean to that at night. Yeah. I'm just... But my mum had RuPaul's CD and used to play Supermodel, and we used to dance along to it. And it's weird because we are taught in society never to meet our idols. And I was so nervous, given everything, you know, the rumors about RuPaul. There are lots of people that say really nice, whatever. There's also a lot of people that have said very opposite things of that. That he is not nice, doesn't care about you, doesn't care, all this stuff. Yeah. And I was really nervous to meet him because I was like, oh my God, if this is true, this is going to like ruin my childhood. I'm very grateful because when Ru started saying my name, I remember so many people before Drag Race didn't know how to pronounce my name. They'd be like, welcome to the stage, Larry Chancey, Chorence Laney. Like, I mean, nobody knew how to... Larry Chunder. People did not know how to pronounce my name. And I remember one of the crew members, we were about to walk on for our first mini challenge, which was the Wimbledon challenge where it was the tennis thing, whatever. And we were sat by the curtains, and you could hear Rue, you know, the in the corner, you could hear that. And I went, oh my God, RuPaul's there. And I said, do I need to like remind Rue of like what my name is? Like, or will he know? And they turned to me and they went, he knows your name. And I, of course, at face value then and there, I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. Now, given what I know, I think that is very cool.
Yeah. I think RuPaul's 100% sitting at home in the morning pouring his cereal, just like Lawrence Chaney, just to himself.
My favorite thing is
just
that
tickled.
laugh. You can hear him before he walks in that room.
Yeah.
You hear him when he walks down those stairs.
It's like Friday the 13th when like Jason's like, but it's like just in the distance.
I remember Rue also said, this never aired, which I was furious about. Anytime she complimented me and it never aired, furious. RuPaul said that her and her husband watched my audition tape like 3 times, and she made like a joke. She was like, oh, and then he served me the divorce papers, honey. You know, she was really, really funny about it, and she kept quoting my audition tape. She said, there's this moment you say, Gemma, you silly cunt. And she just, whatever I'd said in this audition tape, tickled that bitch pink. And I loved it. And boy, am I grateful and lucky, because he's just, what a hero to me, what an inspiration, personally, professionally, and just give me cash prize next time, please. Cash prize, please. I'm begging you. I truly thought they'd maybe give me a wee something under the table, a wee suitcase of money.
Hopefully, like, maybe Global All-Stars or something, or All Winners.
I'm gunning for it.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, if I'm not on, if they do another Winners season and I'm not on it, I've not been asked. If I'm asked, I'm saying yes.
She is sitting by the phone.
I'm sat on my phone waiting for it to vibrate.
Just between like Gmail, WhatsApp, just all the things.
Honey,
waiting. Just waiting.
All the channels are open. World of Wonder and executives there. Viacom, VH1, MTV, Paramount Plus. I'm ready, gaped, douched and primed for Winners 2.
Yeah, it could be on Roku TV, but she'll be there.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt if you were handpicked by Rue to come back for literally anything.
I would love
Might be the first. I mean, RuPaul loves you. Like, I don't know what. Again, like you said, maybe it's something in the video, something about you just endeared RuPaul so much.
But
maybe he's just a big Shrek fan. But regardless, like, he just adores you. I don't know.
I wonder if RuPaul wants to get in my swamp.
He wants to get in between the layers.
Rue's just been so kind to me, even off camera though. Like, I remember one instance we were filming this TV show called Ant and Dec's Saturday Night Takeaway, and Rue picked me, the Vivian, and Crystal Versace to be part of it, and we were to do this performance, whatever. And I remember seeing Rue. I was listening to Rue's music. I was listening to Catwalk, getting ready, as she walks past me in the corridor, and I go, oh my God, that's so cringe. I'm listening to this person's music as I'm getting ready, and they just absolutely walk by the door and will have absolutely known. And I peek my head through the door, and Rue is not in any makeup, and Rue pulls his mask down and he goes, Lawrence Chaney! Gives me a big old hug, and I was like, you're a fucking real one for doing that when no cameras are here. Like, no one, maybe the CCTV, maybe it was a prank video and the CCTV was rolling, but like, what a real one.
RuPaul's walking by your trailer, you're listening to Catwalk.
Yeah.
If you walk by Rue's trailer, it's probably watching your audition video.
Yeah!
So you're just like sitting there, just in her chair, just
As
just
he
fully
should.
Aside from all the compliments Rue gave you, what are some other things on the show that we didn't get to see that you wish we had gotten?
I mean, I talk about this all the time. I nearly pissed and shat myself in my skin dress that I wore. So in my skin dress, I nearly pissed and shat myself. It was so bad. Because it was so difficult to get in. Once I was in it, I said, I might not get back in this.
That dress was really skinny.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I see what you did there. But, you know, once I was in it, I was like, if I can't get back into this, continuity's fucked. Like, who knows? So I said, I'm going to hold in this piss and shit that I need. And I held it in the entire critiques, the entire Untucked, the entire lip sync, and runway walk off. Which, as you will know, is 3 hours easily. 3 hours. And that was the episode when I was wearing my skin dress where Ginny Lemon walked off. That was obviously unplanned. So production, no idea, didn't plan any of it. So what happened was Ginny walked off and was just walking backstage. Like no one was there to collect her because it was not time for someone to be picked up there. Mm-hmm. We were all there backstage waiting to go back to the workroom. I was bursting and I said, I need this shit pronto. And she said, we can't go, Ginny's wandering about. And I said, huh. And I literally squatted and lifted up that skirt and was so close to starting pissing. She grabbed me, we ran. There wasn't enough time to get to our toilets. And then we went to these toilets that were super deluxe. I believed they were RuPaul's toilets until
you were the only one allowed to use that one.
Until an informant told me recently it wasn't RuPaul. It was on the same floor as RuPaul's, but it was Michelle or the special guest's toilet. Okay. So I was gagged that I pissed and shat probably where Michelle Visage has pissed and shat.
Yeah.
Not as good as RuPaul's, but
Yeah, RuPaul's bathroom, that it's like black and white with jewel tones.
His house.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel bad. Listen, I loved Drag Race, but I felt so bad for the crew, especially those queen handlers that looked after us. I was quite difficult. I'm not going to lie. I remember one time, basically it was the first episode, and I just talked. Whole time like I am right now. And at Drag Race, you're not allowed to talk. If you're not filming, you're on ice. If someone's just been eliminated, hard ice, that's really serious. I did not take it seriously in that first episode. And one of the runners, I was like, they kept saying, Lawrence, stop talking. And I said, oh, but this is just fun, isn't it? And she was like, this isn't fun. This is your job. We're trying to film a TV show. And I was like, gagged. And then she said, I'm a member of staff here. Don't argue back. You need to be quiet. And I was firmly put in my place. Let's just say that. And then it was around dinner time. She's walking around the room. Hey, what would everyone like? We're ordering Nando's for everyone tonight. Here's the menu. What would you like? She goes around to everyone and she says, Lawrence, what do you want from Nando's? And I went, I don't know, I'm on ice. And I never ate that night. I was so petty. I was like, I don't know, I'm on ice.
You were so upset by being told to be quiet. You went on a hunger strike.
Yeah, and that took a lot, everyone. Yeah. But I feel bad. That poor production company, that's probably the reason I'm never going to be asked back.
Well, rest assured that production person was fired by RuPaul for talking to Lawrence.
No!
Don't worry, we don't have to worry about them anymore.
Oh,
he said, "Don't put my baby on ice." No one puts baby on ice.
Chaney on the ice.
Yeah. Another moment we didn't get to see. A moment of runway panic is backstage. Episode 2, Tayce's blood moment. Actually had a malfunction backstage before the runway and got blood all over your outfit. What was the panic?
Honey, not the outfit, the face.
So that Tayce moment could have been your moment.
When I tell you, she did an interview about it recently, and I'm so glad. She so knows me so well. She said Lawrence kept it really polite, even though Lawrence was absolutely furious. I was. In my head, I was like, oh my God, spray blood. I was like, this isn't like, if you're doing mascara and a bit of it goes here. No, Tayce sprayed all this blood over me. And then I went back to the workroom and they only gave me maybe 5 minutes to get rid of the really big problem areas. But that's why I was in a foul mood that runway, all that stuff. And I think you can see the blood on me. It was the second time we did the first pass of the runway. And then it was on the second pass. It was, right, everyone, you're going to do it second time. So Tayce was like this, checking herself in the mirror and went, tss. So it looked wet and it went on me. So you can hear it was the pass we did with no sound where I say, I'll show you my shag pipes. There's bits of blood on my shoulder, little bits on kind of my décolletage area. The face is pretty good, but it's definitely noticeable.
But with the show also comes like your branding, as we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
When did you decide that your branding was going to be purple? When that was going to be like your motif? What was that deciding factor?
You are good. I don't know if you've researched this, but you are good. So I spoke about this on the show, but it just never made it to air. The reason I love wearing purple is it's all because of my gran. On my mum's side, my gran called Mary. We used to call her affectionately in the house, we used to call her the purple blob. We'd be, oh, there's the wee purple blob, because we would always see her in the corner of our eye, kind of just running somewhere or going somewhere, and she'd always wear a purple cardigan, and she just loved the colour purple. So for me, when she passed away, I wanted to kind of carry on that legacy. So, I just think it was important. You know, my mum was really sad and said, oh, we'll never see the wee purple blob again. And I was like, well, no, I'm going to carry that on.
You said, I'm going to carry the mantle. I'll be the purple blob.
I'll be the biggest purple blob you can fucking find, Mum. But that's nice. It's nice to kind of rep my gran a little bit.
Yeah, to carry on that memory in like some way.
Do you know who's driven me up the fucking wall in my prep time for Drag Race Live? Diabetes. They said to us in the paperwork, they said, you have to pick a colour for your runway look, and that's it. If someone's doing blue, blue's done. If someone's doing, whatever, that colour's off the market. And I said, so let me get this straight. Diabetes started a week ago. You knew I was starting, and you knew my kind of obvious colour would be purple.
Yeah.
You knew that. And this bitch is wearing lilac. And they said, oh, but it was our look from the Drag Race Season 14 finale. And I was like, yeah, but you need to allow both of us to do purple. Different shades of purple, maybe. And they said, okay, I guess, Daya will be lilac, and Lawrence, you're going to be eggplant purple. And I was like, that's right.
Yeah.
That's correct.
This isn't an outfit. This isn't dress up. This is my life.
This is a way of life.
This is who I am.
This is part of me.
Yeah.
And if you're telling me if you're policing my purpleness.
Yeah, performing in Scotland, you're a long way from Delmonico's, but now you are a Vegas showgirl. Did you ever think you would be here in your drag career?
Oh my God. The people in Scotland, of which there are 10 listening, are gagged you mentioned Delmonico's. Oh my God, you really do your research. I'm gagged. Delmonico's is a good time. You all should go to it. I filmed one of my first TV shows, the pilot for it. We filmed part of my hosting monologue in Delmonico's because I like kind of paying tribute to the places that raised me. But what were you saying?
Performing somewhere like Delmonico's in Scotland.
Yeah.
Now you are the winner of, or formerly winner of Drag Race UK. And now you are in Vegas as a showgirl in a Vegas casino. Did you ever think you would get to this point or anywhere like it?
Yeah, I did.
I said, yep.
I did. I'm not kidding. When I was at school, I probably was a nightmare. Because I feel like when someone's a star, they just act differently. They feel differently. They see the world differently. Because it's this essence. It's this thing of when you're a performer, it just is in our blood, I feel. When you have it, I just believe it's in you. It's been in me, I can tell you. But a lot of people would make fun of me, but I believe that's because they couldn't take their eyes off me. I was never someone that could blend in. That did not exist.
Did you also dress like Xenon Girl, the 24th century?
No.
Okay.
Do you like this look? I look like Spice, but like Old Spice.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
Hey, but yeah, at school, I remember career day, they'd be like, "What do you want to do?" And like, little Timmy would want to be a pharmacist, and
you had just watched Showgirls. You're like, I'm gonna be a Vegas showgirl.
I set the standard high. I was like, I want to be an international superstar. I want to live in Los Angeles. I want to live here. I want to live there. I want to experience life differently than other people. I want this to be my life. And people would always, and I think it's important, like if younger people are watching, if you're wanting to start drag, I think it's important to note that becoming famous or becoming in this industry, becoming well known in this industry is a lot easier than it was even 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 50 years ago. Because think how many TV channels there are. There's different platforms to be famous. You can be famous on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, whatever. Now more than ever, we should not be laughing at people because their ambition is to be a famous this or a whatever. I remember back at school, I was like, I want to be like a international like performer. I want to perform on stages all around the world. People would laugh at me and be like, you're never going to do that. Angelina Jolie does that. You're not going to do that. And I was like, what's the difference between me and Angelina Jolie?
Well,
but
a lot.
What's the difference between us and Lady Gaga? Mm-hmm. She does the same sort of thing, the wigs, all this stuff. It's just money.
Yeah.
It's more people watch her.
Yeah.
But the general thing of her turning up at this time to do a show at this time, it is the same thing. So to me, shoot for the fucking stars, kids. Because you really can make it. I'm from Helensburgh in Scotland, a tiny, tiny town. I moved to Glasgow and I'm in Vegas.
Yeah.
And if you think I didn't deserve to win, that just shows how low the standard is.
Yeah.
I truly think talent is one thing. I know incredibly talented people that sing and do all these things, but they're absolutely fine singing and working in Target. That they just don't want to do singing full-time or whatever. But then I know people who maybe aren't talented that are really successful. So it's really a kind of 6 and half a dozen, you know. So fucking pursue your dreams, you cunts.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting you're saying now, like, pursue your dreams, shoot for the stars. Back in 2017 on BBC Scotland, you were in an interview saying, you know, it's difficult to be confident, it's difficult to believe in yourself, so pace yourself, don't do anything too big, anything too bold, don't do anything you might regret. So obviously the mindset you have is very different now than it was back then. How has this journey in drag, or your drag journey in general, like, changed you?
Again, you're absolutely right with that quote. I did not know anyone in Scotland that had made it as a drag queen, blah, blah, blah. You know, so to me, I was walking in ungone territory. So that's why I remember there was one time, like, I used to dye my hair really funky colors. And I never used to care. Like, my hair on Drag Race, say what you fucking want about it. I liked how that looked back then. Back then. And, like, that's how we should be. We should not be living our lives for other people. So I used to dye my hair pink, purple, different colors. Yeah, I used to get chased by people on bikes. I used to get chased after. I mean, it was crazy in Glasgow. So there was an element to me where I would mask socially. I would, yeah, I still had pink hair, but I maybe only did or had my pink hair out in front of friends, or if I got a taxi somewhere. But I've kind of learned, especially in this world where everything we say and do is being manipulated and used by the media to go against us. I've learned you might as well fucking do whatever you want, because they're going to fucking demonize us no matter what. People are going to check. I miss the days where I used to just be called a in the streets. I miss those days where bullies and people would just say, you're a or you're this, and move on. Now it's grooming, it's this, it's that. So truly, I've learned from nothing changing. The world hasn't changed around me. It's maybe gotten a bit more accepting in terms of media. You know, media people are a bit more open to drag. But the general world, I find it bizarre how on Halloween night, I could walk out the house like this and people go, oh my God, I love your costume. If I walk out the house any other day looking like this, it's, oh, what? You, ah! How can someone dress as Pennywise the Clown on Halloween and not get more looks than I do walking to a gig? I think that's mad. So I've just learned through growth, really. I've learned through doing more gigs, doing more in different cities, different countries. We are a lot more similar than we think, and we do still have a lot further to come. you know?
So drag has inspired you not only to be more of yourself just as like an artist and like your presentation, but also with like your own like identity, because through drag you've kind of explored your own like gender and expression. Where are you at currently in your gender identity? Like time stamping it right now, June 2023.
Stamp.
Where are you at this moment in time?
My gender right now is very fluid. You see all that fluid coming from me? Gender fluid. Because of my name, it's the territory. People are like, man, him, he, man, man, man. My idea, I don't think this is shooting for the stars. Why are we calling someone that spent 3 hours in the makeup chair to be a drag queen? Why are we calling them he? Why? I did not tuck my cock up my arse for you to call me he. I did not fucking do that. So for me, in drag, it's she or they. Out of drag, I do prefer they, them, but it's all about context, isn't it?
Yeah.
If someone at the club that hasn't met me, whatever, says he, and I'm presenting male, I absolutely understand. Because when I'm out of drag and I post pictures of me out of drag, which isn't very frequently, but like when I do my hair, I draw my eyebrows on, I wear nice clothes. This may sound weird to you, but I see that just as much as drag, as a costume, as I do this. Because I don't wake up and my hair is naturally coiffed and nice. I don't wake up smelling nice. I don't wake up with eyebrows. I don't wake up with nice glossy lips.
Yeah.
That's all added on. So, well, you know.
I think that's exactly what RuPaul means whenever they say, we're all born naked, the rest is drag. Because even like out of drag, when we're dressed, how we dress up, go out to the club.
Yeah.
We're dressing and putting on little outfits and changing things slightly to present in a way that we want to convey to people.
To people, yeah. And it's like, when I see myself in the mirror with the hair done and all that, I'm like, oh, I look really nice. In the same way I look at this, but it's not my identity. That's not me. So my truest form, and I know it sounds weird, is me. When you see me with no eyebrows and a little beanie hat, that means you're a real one, and you have. I am comfortable enough to be around you in my kind of truest form, in my most vulnerable form. You know, I consider that a good change from on Drag Race. I didn't even want to take off my makeup on the first episode. Like, it killed me having to get out of drag that first episode. So I think I've come a long way, but yeah, I'm very fluid. And I absolutely understand people saying he. And I understand people saying she. Because sometimes I look like a lesbian when I've got my hair all coiffed and stuff. But
the Victoria Scone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Everyone's like, Victoria, I loved you on Canada versus the World. And I'm like, oh, I'm Lawrence, the fat one. But yeah, thank you for asking that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's something that I wasn't aware of until, like, doing a little bit of research, and I found out that you consider yourself more gender fluid and using.
Well, I used to think I was trans for a couple years. So from around 2018, I fully didn't leave the house unless it was for drag. And I remember I had a day job for some of that time, and I hated it because I had to look like a man. I had to have eyebrows and a quiff and all that, and I hated it. I just wanted to keep growing my hair, and it was tough because I think I've just always known a quote unquote male. That's not enough to describe me. Listen, I get like me explaining about me in my truest form with the no eyebrows and stuff. I understand that's weird, but like it just, I'm telling you what I feel. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's important to listen to people in the same way, like I think it's important to pronounce people's names correctly. I also think it's important to get their pronouns right and address them how people want to be addressed. Just fucking don't be a cunt and address people the way they want to be addressed. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So with that leads me to my final question for the interview. Probably the most important.
Okay.
Do you think the Loch Ness Monster is real?
I don't believe the Loch Ness Monster is real. But what I do believe in is the Loch Ness monster.
Loch Ness monster.
Pow pow. That's my name on the streets, honey.
The Loch Ness
the
monster.
Loch Ness. Yeah, honey. I run Loch Ness. Honey.
Honestly, Loch Ness monster sounds like a queen on the next season of Dracula. So.
Oh yeah, that would be cool.
If you had leaned more into the alternative drag, that's probably what you would have become, the Loch Ness monster. But
I'm the Loch Ness monster. I'm 26 years old, and I'm from Glasgow. That would be fierce.
You've been staying in the States for like 2 weeks, and you're already talking about Glocks. It's American culture is rubbing off on you way too much.
Yeah, I mean, America's taken me under its wing. It's a wing made of guns, but it's taken me under its wing.
Yeah. And with that, that is the end of my cards. End of my cards and the end of the interview. Thank you all so much for watching. Lawrence, where can people find you online? What shows and tours do you have coming up? Let the people know in the cameras. Where can they find you?
Find me on Instagram at Lawrence Chaney. I'm on Twitter at Shady Lawrence because I'm a cunt. You can find me on TikTok at The Lawrence Chaney. You can come see, if you're in Scotland or the UK, I have a fringe show coming out. It's called Lawrence Chaney Overweight and Over It from the 21st to the 27th of August. Come see me. If you don't and you're in America, come see me Drag Race Live. I'm going to be here for a while.
What's the Sniffies handle?
Sniffies?
Yeah. It's like Grinder. I think it's more
Oh, so you know about it?
Yeah. I'm an ally. I have to learn these things.
You're an ally, but only sometimes.
Yeah. I'm like
Pride Month.
Yeah, I'm like the Citibank of drag, you know?
The target of drag.
The target of drag, yeah.
Not supportive at all.
Honestly, it feels like I'm a target sometimes. Okay, anyway, I've been doing drag so long, I don't even know what straight people do anymore. I don't think I've met a straight person outside of a brunch show in like 5 years.
Well,
I don't know what they're doing.
This is the straight struggle. This is why.
It's like,
listen, Maddy struggled. This is why straight pride should be a thing.
No, honestly, it's like I've been doing drag so long. It's almost like when you're raised by wolves. That's like me and like the queer.
Like, where's her BAFTA?
Yeah.
Where's her Emmy? She's an ally.
Where's my Wowie? They had. I was not nominated for Best TikTok. Not Best YouTube. Not Best Ally. I wasn't even nominated.
They nominated, what's her name from? Is she Hispania? Anna. It's the name that's like Anastasia Beverly Hills.
Mm-hmm.
And they nominated her for Best Twitter. She's not had Twitter for 3 years.
Yeah. I don't have to win the can of soup. I just want to be nominated.
Well, I won a Wowie for Best Book against Elvira and Bimini.
Oh, wow. Look at you.
Yeah.
But...
You know what's in the can?
No.
It's just a cuddly squirrel with a crown on it.
Oh, that's cute.
I wanted something embossed, like my BAFTA that I have this award in the UK. Mine's made of glass.
No.
And my mum tried to hold it the night I won it, and I went, "You will not be touching this."
It's like a glass award.
But
for
you
a glass
deserve
Norwegian.
that. Hey!
Yeah. Just the bare minimum is all I ask for, you know.
Also, you can cut this in wherever. I'm from Glasgow, not Glasgow. All you Americans, you foreign people, to me, Lady Gaga came to Glasgow and she said Glasgow. You'll need to pronounce it better. Spell it like this, okay? In your head. Glazgo. Glasgow. Glasgow. Say it like that. If I hear another person say they're 10% Scotch and my uncle came from Glasgow,
they're going to pronounce it phonetically the way you just spelled it, and they're going to be like, Glasgow, is that like a
Glasgow?
Is that a drive-through donut place?
It's a donut place.
Like, no, Glasgow is her Sniffies handle.
Yeah. Glaze and go.
Yeah.
That's good.
Glaze and go.
That's my name on.
Well, while we're on a high note, we're going to end this interview. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Join me next time whenever we have somebody else. And yeah, until then, bye guys.
Keep it straight, bro. Yeah.
Deuces.
Hey man, it's been really good, real good, man. Yeah.
You feel so unnatural doing that. Anyways.
Yeah, but you seem like a fucking natural. Yeah. Get me out of here.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. Goodbye.